What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Off the Schneid. Tuesday night, we're drafting NFL roster cutdown day. Teams are cut down to 53 players on their roster for the start of the season. Some are a little bit short, 52. Some are a little bit, no one's high. No one's above the 53, but some are a little bit short with some trades coming in. Probably going to be doing some signings. There's obviously guys hitting the waivers that are going to be picked up. Little tidbit: the Tennessee Titans are first on the raw, waiver priority. It's similar to how it works in fantasy football. There is a waiver priority, and the Titans are number one on the list, so they'll have their kind of pick of the litter. And that's what I want to talk about first and foremost. Obviously, let's. Ooh, that was clean. Let's get ourselves opened up. So that's obviously what we're going to be talking about today. Some surprises, some surprise, players that made the cut, some surprise cuts, who's available, who have we been drafting that's available, that sort of stuff. What's up to the chat? We got Jeff T in here. Kelsey's engaged to Taylor Swift. Cody's engaged to Genty. Bauer starts in BBM. Love is in the air. Not never. Not never, sir. Stephen Hines in here. Good day, OTS. Hope you and the family are well on this roster cutdown day. We are doing well. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. We're doing very well over here. Antwall's in here. Miami's too. There you go. So Miami definitely going to use that. I'm confident that they will be claiming somebody as well. Could definitely use some help on the defense, offensive line, all kinds of issues there. Titans maybe on a running back. We'll see. But let's jump into it. So this is ESPN's list. It's got a breakdown of all the roster cuts for today. Green Bean just popped in. What's up, man? Appreciate you. So let's go through this, going team by team. Let's talk about if there's any surprises. So the Buffalo Bills at the top here. No real surprises so far. Frank Gore Jr., probably. And a lot of these guys, but Frank Gore Jr. especially is one of those guys that will probably be on the practice squad. They have to release them to waivers and then re-sign them to their practice squad. So that's kind of what's going on here. Frank Gore, probably. Mike White, probably. KJ Hamler, most likely as well. Caden Prather. I'm not sure what the asterisk is, but I'm confident it's like an injury or something like that. Laviska Shenault, Zach Davidson, who got Shiloh Sanders, cut essentially. So by blocking him too hard. So there you go. And then whatever. I'm not going to go through the defensive players, offensive linemen, stuff like that. Let's just go through the offensive players. And if there's anything that's going to affect our strategy the rest of the summer, the rest of the draft season, or, if there's any surprise cuts that's going to affect how we've already drafted. So if you've drafted any of these players, then I don't know what to tell you. You shouldn't have. And here we are. Looks like Elijah Moore made the team. That feels pretty good to me. I'm still not exactly going to be drafting him, but that feels pretty good because I got a little bit of a bag of him. Let's move on. Miami Dolphins, Mike Boone, okay. Eric Ezukanma is gone. Theo Weiss, rookie. That's about it. No real issues there. Jackson Carman, wow. I thought he would make a lot of sense for this team in the offensive line, considering, but that's all right. So really nothing here. Again, I don't think we're drafting any of these players, so really no issues there on the Miami side. Patriots, Jermichael Hasty, weren't going there. CJ Dupree was a little bit surprising to me, but not exactly. Probably goes to the practice squad, I'm sure. So we'll not too worried about that one. It's just a little bit surprising. I do like CJ Dupree. Time to get Judkins now. Browns only have 2 running backs. He's getting signed soon. I do feel like they're going to be in the market for running back as well. And as we just saw here, estimate cut. That does hurt my big board bags. I'm about 17% in the big board. My process was correct on that one. It just obviously didn't work out. Like, he just turns out he's not very good, I guess. But there's a lot of spots that are pretty juicy for a running back. So fingers crossed, estimate can land there. We'll see what happens. Al Boogie's in the house. What's up, man? Appreciate you popping in here. Nothing else to really talk about with the Patriots. Nothing really at all. CJ Dupree, Jaheim Bell. Both likely, headed to the practice squad. Cole Strange, former first-round pick, but nothing to really talk about there. Jets, Adrian Martinez, Brady Cook, definitely practice squad guys. Donovan Edwards, practice squad. Malachi Corley is surprising to some, but he just never got there. Practice squad most likely. Zach Kuntz, practice squad most likely. Nothing really to see here. Jamal Pritchett, practice squad. Nothing really to see here, if I'm being honest. Samuel Jackson, Wonder what his middle name is. Baltimore Ravens, pretty light. I'm not sure if they've reported everything yet. Unless that's just it. I highly doubt that, but pretty light. Devin Leary definitely going to the practice squad. My Bengals, Desmond Ridder, Peyton Thorne, no surprises there. Probably some practice squad for either or both. Gary Brightwell, Kendall Milton, Isaiah Williams, Tanner McLaughlin, definitely practice squad guys. Tanner McLaughlin's from Lethbridge, Alberta, about an hour and a half south of me. So shout out Tanner McLaughlin in Alberta. I like Isaiah Williams, who's probably a practice squad guy, but nothing really to see here, if I'm being honest. So no real surprises, no shockers, nothing yet. Cordell Volson, wow. I'm going to have to relook through this a little later and dig into my Bengals a little bit more. That's a shocker there. That's a big shock. Wow, okay. I'm going to have to dig into that later. Let's keep going. Cleveland Browns. Damian Martinez should be on everyone's radar. Hopefully, that's another guy I'm hoping gets signed somewhere. He's going to be someone we'll talk about when his name comes up. Pierre Strong, another guy. So there's a couple, like we said, Estime, Damian Martinez, Pierre Strong. Few options for running backs out there. Deontay Johnson. We talked about it on this channel. I was never drafting him. So I have 0%. That feels good. So he's a free agent again. Travion Williams, nothing to really see here. Tyler Huntley, former Pro Bowler, somehow. No real surprises here, if I'm being honest. I guess Deontay Johnson is a surprise, but I really don't think anyone should be shocked. I really don't. But there is people out there with a high exposure to Deontay Johnson, and that sucks. I feel for you, I guess. Shouldn't have been clicking them, but it is what it is. Pittsburgh Steelers, Evan Hull, Trey Sermon. Nothing to really see here. Nothing to really see here. Nothing to really talk about. Chuck Clark. Thought he would have a role, but I guess not. Okay, let's move on. Houston Texans, Keaton Slovis, Jawar Jordan, probably practice squad guys, both of them. Jakob Johnson was a little bit surprising. I'm not sure if they kept another fullback. We can go through the depth charts if we want to, but we can also leave it there. They traded for Harrison Bryant in the John Mechie deal, and then just to release him, that's kind of surprising, but probably a practice squad guy. Luke Lachey as well. I think Trey McKitty will be grabbed by somebody. He's a very good blocking tight end, so I think Trey McKitty will find a home somewhere. We'll see where that happens, and I think he'll be an active roster kind of a guy. So that one's a little bit surprising, but I think he'll find a home somewhere. Jakob Johnson might as well. That's about it. Nothing really to see there. Some role player type guys that I think will find a home. Colts, Khalil Herbert. So I hope nobody drafted him. I'm highly exposed to DJ Giddens, which feels really good right now. Tyler Goodson's still on the roster, and he's got a role, but I think it's DJ Giddens after Jonathan Taylor. Beyond that, really nothing. Really nothing. Jelani Woods finally gone. No shocker there. Laquan Treadwell bouncing around still. Former first-round pick. Nothing really to see there on the Colts. We got the Jaguars. Kevin Harris, former fifth-round pick from South Carolina. Quentin Morris, nothing really to see here at all. No shockers. Tennessee Titans, Trevor Siemian. Jaquan Jackson, I suppose, would be a little surprising. Xavier Restrepo, I do have like 1 or 2 clicks in Best Ball Mania of Xavier Restrepo. So obviously 100% a practice squad guy. He most certainly will be on this practice squad unless someone else picks him up, which I doubt. And then Josh Wiley as well. He'll be on the practice squad for sure. So those two are not shocking, but they'll be on the practice squad. Probably Jordan Mims as well. Whoops, geez. Probably Jordan Mims as well on the practice squad. But nothing, and Jackson, but nothing really shocking here, if I'm being honest. Restrepo had a shot to make the team, but obviously just didn't show enough. But he'll be on the practice squad. Let's go to the AFC West. We got the Denver Broncos. Yes, we talked about it. He's not in here. So again, they haven't reported everything yet, but Audric Estime is part of the Cutdown, looks like. And that's really it to see here. Kansas City Chiefs, they obviously haven't reported yet either, or they haven't updated. Steele is off this team, waived sort of thing, maybe practice squad guy. Looks like Brashard Smith made this team, so that's really good. Bailey Zappi's gone, probably a practice squad guy as well. Vegas Raider Cam Miller definitely going to the practice squad. Sincere McCormick probably as well. Kadir Ismail probably going to the probably going to the practice squad. Nothing really to see here, if I'm being honest. No real surprises, honestly. There's nothing really shocking. Raheem Rocket Sanders, Kamani Vidal. Wow. Were people drafting Kamani Vidal again? I definitely was not. DJ Uliungalele is definitely going to the practice squad. Fucking nailed that pronunciation, by the way. Taylor Heineke. Okay. Who's their backup then? Oh, Trey Lance wins out. Good for him. Good for Trey Lance. There we go. Naheem Hines is gone. Sanders and Vidal, probably both practice squads unless they get scooped up. Jalen Reagor, that's a little surprising. I thought he might have made this team. Practice squad unless he gets scooped up. Somewhat surprising cut downs for the Chargers here. I'll say that. Nothing too crazy, but just a couple mild surprises. Okay. Let's look at the Cowboys. Will Grier, Deuce Vaughn, finally. He just doesn't offer much, if I'm being honest. Malik Davis, practice squad for sure. Will Grier, probably practice squad unless he gets scooped up, which he could. Solid vet. That's about it. Holden, the Jalen's, and Trayshawn Holden, probably practice squad guys most likely. Tommy DeVito, Tommy Cutlets finally cut for the Giants. Lil Jordan Humphrey, Zach Pascal, Amir Smith-Marset, all cut. Juice Wells, Montreal Washington, Greg Dulcich, Stone Forsythe, eh? He's someone that could probably get picked up somewhere, but that's a different story. So Tommy Cutlets definitely going to the practice squad. I don't know about Humphrey and Pascal, maybe. We'll see. Dulcich probably practice squad unless someone else scoops him up. The Eagles, Kyle McCord practice squad, Thompson Robinson, someone might just grab him and put on their practice squad. We'll see. Terrace Marshall, probably practice squad. Anaya Smith, recent draft pick for this team. Cameron Latu, practice squad. EJ Jenkins, practice squad. Most likely Elijah Cooks, probably practice squad, but nothing crazy there for the Eagles. Sam Hartman, practice squad unless someone wants him. Gallup, we'll see about that one. KJ Osborne, bunch of vets here. Chris Moore, KJ Osborne, Michael Gallup, bunch of vets. River Craycraft even, who could, catch on somewhere maybe. Cole Turner, wow. I thought Cole Turner might have a future, but I guess not. Let's look at the NFC North. We got the Chicago Bears, Royce Freeman, Hankins, Austin Reed. Sure, nothing to see here. Tyler Scott. Wow. That's surprising. I thought Tyler Scott was going to make this squad. We might go over to our lads and check the depth charts. Maybe not. Well, unless you want me to. Let me know in the chat if you want me to go through the depth charts on our lads and see who made the cuts here. Because Tyler Scott's surprising for me. I thought he'd be on this team. JP Richardson actually had a good preseason as well. Okay. The Detroit Lions, Hendon Hooker, that's a little bit surprising to me. That's surprising for sure. Former, I think, 3rd-round pick for this team. That's very surprising. Where are we at? Jeez. Pierre Strong is a surprise only in the sense that the Browns only have 2 running backs on the roster. Time to draft. Quinshon is now. I agree with half that statement. I'm not sure it's time to draft Quinshon. I mean, again, it depends on where you're at with him exposure-wise. Like, my bags are packed enough that I don't need to be adding him anymore right now with the risk. But maybe if he falls to an area that I'm comfortable with, we'll kind of play it by ear on that one. Did yesterday's Jeopardy outcome make you feel better about what happened to you? Could have been dog walked in the finals. I don't think I would. I'm pretty confident I would have beat PPR Tyler in the finals. I really should have beat Candyman actually, but shout out Candyman. Not trying to take anything away, but like there was a few in there that I 1,000,000% should have gotten right, and especially at the end there after the daily double. But it is what it is. But hey, you got to beat the best to be the best. So shout out Candyman. It's Hershey. What's up? Hope you're doing well, dude. I'm doing well, man. Appreciate you popping in. I hope you're doing well as well. Anthony Richardson should be on Colts list. Nah, man, he's still going to be on this team. You drafted him 4th overall. Come on, man. Rocket Senators name Hines being cut was a surprise only in that Najee was added to the active roster, which was not expected. Definitely not expected. Probably a good thing. Definitely a little bit of a surprise. That's a guy that, you know, if he's staying where he's at, draft capital wise, ADP wise, that's who we should be clicking right now, I think, personally. Green Bean, of course, Rashard Smith made the 53. He's the 2nd best running back in KC. I tend to agree, and I'm hopeful on that because I'm about 25% Rashard Smith in Best Ball Mania. So I'm rooting for him. That's for damn sure. Tom Kennedy was a team favorite. That's a surprising cut for the Lions. Ronnie Bell, Hendon Hooker, like I said. Jackson Meeks definitely going to the practice squad. He played well in the preseason. Nothing really shocking there. Let's take a look at the Green Bay Packers. Taylor Elgersma, Canadian, shout out. Sean Clifford, one of or both are going to the practice squad. Israel Abanikanda, probably practice squad. Tyrion Davis-Price was kicking around. Hey, good for him. Probably practice squad, I guess. Kawan Baker, former Saint 7th-round pick, probably practice squad. Hardman. That's interesting. He might find a home. Isaiah Nair, probably practice squad. Will Shepard, I'd say practice squad. No real shockers there. Minnesota Vikings, Brett Rippon, Xavier Valade, Bryson Nesbitt. That's a deep cut. Nothing shocking here, that's for sure. Nothing to see here. Okay. NFC South, we got the Atlanta Falcons, Ben DiNucci, Easton Stick. Easton Stick probably goes to the practice squad. Ben DiNucci was a camp body, kind of brought in late, so I doubt they bring him back. Nick Nash, definitely practice squad guy. Probably Carlos Washington. Probably Elijah Dotson. Joshua Simon, probably practice squad. I would anyways. Tight end from South Carolina, formerly Western Kentucky, I believe. Nothing to see here. I like to hear that, a fellow believer. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He was one of my highest exposed players, Brashard Smith. So Savion made it, never playing a preseason down. That's fun. That is fun. I mean, his tape was very fun. His tape was very, very, very fun. So I'm excited to see him get some touches. I think he'll get some work out of the backfield too, is my prediction. But Green Bay Cuts look like a bunch of dudes that lost me money over the last 2 years. Probably not the only one, I'd imagine. We got the Carolina Panthers, Jack Plummer, former Louisville Cardinal. Raheem Blackshear, sure. Hunter Renfrow was a bit of a surprise. I think there were some people drafting a little bit of Hunter Renfrow. I wonder if he'll catch on somewhere now that he's kind of healthy. We'll see. He's definitely a name to kind of keep an eye on, but it just didn't make sense for the Panthers. They have a lot of depth at wide receivers, so it's not shocking to see Renfrow show up, but I wonder if he'll find a home, and he could find a pretty decent home and have a role somewhere. But we'll see how that kind of shakes out for the Panthers. Nothing really to see there. Saints, Jake Haener obviously lost. He goes to the practice squad. Spencer Rattler's the starter, and then Tyler Shucks the backup, obviously. Cam Akers and Edwards-Helaire cut. Nothing really shocking there for me personally. Peoples-Jones could catch on somewhere maybe. Other than that, really nothing to see here in my opinion. Buccaneers, Kyle Trask was a bit of a surprising one. Maybe he goes to the practice squad or just gets kind of a change of scenery. Shiloh Sanders probably does go to the practice squad. We'll see. Maybe Desmond Watson. I don't know. The dude just kind of hung out in the Florida sun for all of preseason, losing weight. I don't know how much he lost, but either way. Arizona Cardinals, Michael Carter. Liked Michael Carter, but he's getting up there age-wise, to be honest. Clayton Tune, he's gone. Simi Fehoko, I always had a kind of soft spot for, but he's just not getting there. DJ Dallas might catch on as a returner somewhere. Josiah DeGuara might somewhere as a blocking tight end and sort of H-back, fullback kind of guy. We'll see if he catches on. A couple practice squad guys, probably Tune as well, practice squad guy, but we'll see how that shakes down. The Rams, I like Cody Schrader. Hopefully he makes the practice squad there. Britton Covey might find a role somewhere as a returner. Drake Stoops going to the practice squad almost for sure. Nothing really to see here. San Francisco 49ers, bunch of camp body quarterbacks. Corey Kiner probably going to the practice squad or he's injured, either one. Robbie Chosen, Malik Turner, nothing really to see here. Russell Gage, nothing really to see here if I'm being honest. Seattle Seahawks, Damian Martinez, that's a big one. A lot of us are hoping he catches on somewhere. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, very shocking considering how much they paid him and the depth around him. So shout out Jake Bobo, who made Valdes-Scantling expendable, essentially, and Torrey Horton. I think Valdes-Scantling will find a role somewhere, almost for sure. Ricky White's going to the practice squad. And Damian Martinez, I mean, he'll go to someone's practice squad minimum, but hopefully he gets signed. Like, that's Chicago, Cleveland, Dallas even, something like that. We'll see. But that's it for the roster cuts. If you guys want me to go through depth charts on our lads, let me know and we can do that. If not, we'll just start ripping through some drafts here. Renfrow being cut should tame the Thielen to Minnesota situation. I thought that made a ton of sense for both teams, but it doesn't look like it will happen. Still might. Honestly, it still might happen. They can agree on some compensation. It still might happen. And then you just go Tet, Liggett, and Coker for the most part. And then you have some depth guys behind them there. It could definitely still happen if they can agree on some compensation. It sounds like that's the big problem is what the compensation is going to be. So Antwall says, let's rip a draft. Little known fact is Renfrow went to high school with Neil Orfield, graduated the same year. Wow, that's cool. Is that true? I doubt it. I highly doubt that's true, but that's all right. Let's jump over to Underdog. I'm going to quickly extract my exposures for Best Ball Mania. because I want it to be up to date, and I don't have my exposures kind of updated right this second. So that's what we got to do. So I'll entertain you for about 2 minutes while this extracts. I think we got a little bit of a notification here. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Okay. Nothing really to see here. But yeah, I mean, like the Brashard Smith feels really good. What else feels really good as far as like fringe roster guys? Audric Estime sucks. Let's talk about Audric Estime. That definitely sucks. It hurts me in the big board. So my theory there was always that they would draft somebody, but my theory was that it wouldn't end up hurting Audric Estime, and it still worked even with the RJ Harvey drafting. That was actually like exactly what I had planned and envisioned in my head for what they would do. It was exactly what I wanted them to do. It was exactly why I was drafting Audric Estime. And then the KJ Dobbins signing just kind of destroyed it. It's like, and what do you do? So clearly, like, it's a gamble. Don't get me wrong. I definitely took a big gamble on Audric Estime, which, you know, shame on me. But the theory was there. The process was essentially, I mean, the process was correct. Doesn't make me feel better, obviously. Doesn't make me feel good that, you know, it didn't work out for me, but you never know. Audric Estime to the Cleveland Browns, Audric Estime to the Bears, Audric Estime to the Dallas Cowboys, something like that. And I'm super happy. But I mean, in the regular, you know, the best ball summer draft season, I'm not exposed to Estime really at all, realistically, not in a way that it's going to hurt me in any way, shape, or form. So I'm not worried about that, but it would help my big board bags. I'll tell you that much. All right, so we're all exposed up. Let's jump into a Best Ball Mania. 20-second clock. Waiting on 6. Jump in. The water's warm. I maxed the Rottweiler 2. 4 max, so not a big deal. I like that structure. So I maxed that one. I'm going to max the pointer as well. New tournament, new dog. There's a new dog in town. The pointer, 7 max, $11. I think that's a really fun tournament. Really fun, especially week 16, where it's 1 of 3 advanced. That's a really, really fun structure. And I'm going to max that sucker as well. And then finish up Best Ball Mania. I'm not doing the Puppy 4. I just don't have time. I really don't. And I'm not getting myself into slow draft hell again. I'm trying to battle my way out of it. So I'm not getting into that. So I'm not doing the Puppy 4. Not too worried about it. But yeah, that's where we're at. Ice cream makes me feel better. Time for ice cream. After the stream, I am going to have some ice cream. We got some ice cream sandwiches in the fridge. You know, pregnant wife. We're going to sit on the couch and muck an ice cream sandwich. Steve's in the house. Appreciate you, man. I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate it. Losimo popped in and he's in the draft. I see him. Good luck, boys. I drafted the winner last night. So going to sit this one out. There you go. Drafted the winner. Good on you. Is BBG drafting right or streaming right now? BBG's in this. Polak. We got Antwall in here. Losimo at the 12 spot. BBG maybe just trying to like incognito draft without people on stream. It's a co-stream draft. I don't even know if he's streaming because this filled up pretty slow and there's, you know, Antwall's in this stream and Losimo's in this stream. I don't know who the rest of these guys are, but I think it would fill up a little quicker than it did. But can someone confirm that BBG is streaming right now? Check the old. Let's make a pick here. It's gonna be Gibbs. That's an easy click for me. Maybe Saquon's the correct click, but I'm sticking to my guns. Let's go Gibbs. BBG is drafting right now. Wow. All right, co-stream. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see what he does. Yeah, he's streaming. Yep, he is. GM. Sean, what's up, man? Oh, P.S., guys, I'm going on Sean's channel Thursday night Extend the Drive over there. Let's find it on the YouTube machine. And we'll fire the link in. If I can find it. If I can find it. Isn't it Extend the Drive with an X? I have to go through all my follows. Here it is. Here we go. Boom. There it is. Go follow Sean Mitchell over there. Extend the Drive. Thursday night. Pumping out daily content, I think, over there right now, which is pretty wild. Good on you, man. So yeah, looking forward to that. I'll be streaming again probably tomorrow night here. Trying to get in as many streams as I can, especially when I missed, a couple weeks on the injury list. So I'm trying to get as many as I can before the draft, the draft season's over and the season starts. So we'll probably be ripping tomorrow as well. Then Thursday night on Sean's channel. I have my own draft, my home league, the league I run on Friday night. So I won't be streaming Friday night. That's for sure. What are we doing here? Wow. I think I got to go Jonathan Taylor. I'm surprised my exposure has dropped to 7%. So let's go Jonathan Taylor. I think he's the kind of best click here. Get that exposure up and paired with Gibbs, make more sense. So there we go. Where are we? He just started. Looking forward to it. Me too, man. It's going to be fun. Appreciate the invite. Here's the link. Click the link there. Go follow. Go subscribe to Extend the Drive, Sean Mitchell's channel over there. We're going to have a fun night. Meet Gazer over here. What's up, man? Doing well. Appreciate you. Appreciate you popping in. This is the best. This is the best avatar. This is the best avatar in the business right here. If you get it, you get it. That's really funny to me. Shout out. Well done. Cracks me up. I got to go Lamar Jackson here. Lamar Jackson, not paired with either of these players. I want to get that a little closer to Josh Allen. So let's do Lamar. Brian Thomas Bowers. Bowers very on brand for BBG over here. Pulls up Brian Thomas. Gets a little bit unique. Don't hate it. Puka Nacua Genti at the 12 spot for Losimo. Don't mind that. Neighbors London got a lot of those starts. Don't mind that. McCaffrey HN. I don't mind that start. I've got that a few times. BBG takes the other elite quarterback in Josh Allen. Antwall goes Bijan, Higgins, Tyreek. Don't mind that start. Higgins and Tyreek play off each other a little bit. Tim Frith, 24. I think this is the first time seeing you in the chat, man. Appreciate you popping in. Hey, Cody, the Giants cut DeVito. I know Tommy Cutlet's done, dusted. He'll be on their practice squad almost for sure. I'd be pretty shocked if he wasn't on the practice squad. And then at some point in the season, I feel like someone will trade for Jameis Winston. And then maybe Tommy Cutlets makes his way back as the emergency quarterback, or he just stays on the practice squad. Someone could sign him off their practice squad. He has NFL starting experience, so that's pretty valuable. So we'll see. But yeah, DeVito's done and dust. Unfortunately, the legend of Tommy Cutlets is over. Pour one out. I'm not pouring this out. But symbolically, The old Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin feels good, I guess. Don't mind that. Terry obviously signed. It was always going to happen anyways. I think he's a value with where he's going now. Kittle Worthy. Worthy's got some value right now for sure. We did go over it. New collect over here. What's up, man? Quality drafter right there. Appreciate you popping in. Good evening. Did Commanders report cuts? They did, as far as I know, and Chris Rodriguez is almost certainly making this team. I would be pretty shocked if he didn't. Pickens was definitely going to be my click there. So that's unfortunate. Do I just go Breeze Hall? Let's go Jameson Williams. I really don't love it, but let's go Jameson Williams and see what kind of comes of this. Yeah, I'd be pretty shocked if Chris Rodriguez did not make this team. Super shocked. I think he's value right now as far as draft picks are concerned. It looks like they did. It looks like they're keeping Eckler, Merritt, Chris Rodriguez, and Jeremy McNichols. As far as our lads is concerned, geez, I almost missed my pick over here. Let's go Waddle. Let's go Waddle. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, definitely was a wide receiver there. So let's go Waddle. Yeah, that's who it looks like they're keeping. Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel, Jalen Lane, and Luke McCaffrey are pretty much the only wide receivers. Noah Brown as well, but he's on the injured and inactive list as we sit right this second. Our lads has Austin Eckler listed as the starter, and then Krosky Merritt the backup, Chris Rodriguez the third. But who knows how that's actually going to shake out. We'll see how that actually shakes out. BBG gets the old Devontae Smith with Josh Allen. Very similar builds for the two of us right now. Very similar. Wilson brings in Mike Evans, Tet McMillan, and Kamara. Hall, Walker. Wow, what a value on Breece Hall. 47, that's crazy. Maybe I should have just taken him and been done at like 4 running backs here, but that's pretty tough sell. It's a pretty tough sell. If Zay fell all the way back to me, I would have taken him, obviously, with Lamar Jackson, but I'm not going to pull him up to 52. I'm not taking Zay over Waddle, even though I think that's maybe prudent, but I think Waddle could be in for a huge season. I'm happy to gamble on Waddle. I think we kind of know for the most part what we'd get out of Zay Flowers as far as the ceiling is concerned. Wow. Let's do DeAndre Swift. I need to get a little more percentage of him, and I don't have him paired with pretty much anyone here. I like that. I think he's a massive value right now. I really do. I guess Pollard is as well, but I'm the same exposure-wise between Pollard and Swift. So good click by Antwall there to take the other guy. Starts 4 running backs, 2 wide receivers. Interesting build. Might be done at 4, 5 at the maximum for Antwall for running backs, I'd imagine. Could probably get away with just the 4, but we'll see what he end up doing. We will see what you end up doing. Krosky Merritt in the 7th round. If that's what you need, I lose. That's it. If that's what you need, I'm not going to win. Antwall takes Addison from me. That's where I was looking. That's where I was looking for sure. Since he takes Addison, I'll just take TJ Hawkinson, pull him up a little bit, pair him up with my double Detroit. Doesn't feel great, but let's just do that. Pittsburgh's definitely something I'd like to get as well. Pairs with Detroit, pairs with Miami as well in week 15. So probably a Detroit player, probably a Pittsburgh player is going to be on the menu, I would imagine. Feels like it makes a lot of sense. I think you have to jump through some crazy mental hoops to believe that Washington traded away B-Rob just to make Eckler the starting running back, but to each their own, as they say. I'm not jumping through anything. I'm just saying that's what Our Lads has them listed as. I'm not saying a goddamn thing. I'm just telling you what Our Lads has there. And that's like Daniel Jeremiah uses Our Lads as his like depth chart sort of thing. So it's pretty good. I'm not saying he's the starter. I'm just saying that's what Our Lads has him listed as. I'm not making a goddamn any mental hoops. I'm not saying anything. Just reporting the news, man. I had been avoiding Swift, but liking seeing his hurdle in the game. Yeah, man, that was a nice highlight. That's for damn sure. That was a nice highlight. He's pretty much the only game in town is really what it is. Like, we know that Ben Johnson, can produce points, and I don't think he hates DeAndre Swift at all. And he's pretty much the only game in town as far as running backs are concerned. So I think he's a massive value. I really do. I don't see, why he's kind of, I guess he's going in the correct spot, like right there with Pollard. That makes a lot of sense. Pacheco should be ahead of him. That's fair, but like DeAndre Swift or Krosky Merritt, like, even Green Bean, you can't deny that it's DeAndre Swift all day, every day, and twice on Sundays over Krosky Merritt. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But maybe I'm on an island there. Oh, this guy scoops Keon Coleman on BBG. That hurts his feelings, I bet. Now he's scrambling to pick somebody. And he goes with Michael Pittman. Not a bad click. Tracy goes. That was a guy I was going to look at. Higgins, I think, has some value here. I don't really like what's going on here. Man, Charbonnet goes. That's a guy I was looking at. Higgins, I think, needs to fall a little bit just from what we're hearing. There's really no one else. Let's go Mark Andrews. There's really no one else to click right here. I'm done at tight end, no question. I'll take one more quarterback, obviously. Oh, man. I despise this range. If you're not picking a quarterback here, then this range is really hot garbage. I don't think I'm going to double stack Lamar here. Unless he falls into my lap. If Bateman just falls into my lap, sure. But I don't think it's necessary. Let's take Cooper Kupp. It's really weird. It's really weird. I've only clicked him once. I need some wide receiver help. Let's take Cooper Kupp. Don't love it, obviously, but I think it's correct. I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense with this team. I'm going to be taking probably 9 wide receivers. So Cooper Kupp can be a quality vet, just a chaperone with this lineup. I think. Where did Golden go? Right here. Golden most certainly would have been my click at 69 if he were there, but obviously not. He's definitely rising right now, which makes sense. He probably should be. Oh, for sure, Swift over Bill. I wasn't attacking you, just saying in general, people would be crazy to believe that Eckler is the starter. My guess is Eckler has the same role as last year. Most likely, yeah, that's how I feel about it. It's either Rodriguez or Bill as the early down, rushing running back. And then Eckler gets a little bit of work here and there and is the pass catcher. Krosky Merritt's not much of a pass catcher. He caught 7 passes in his big blow-up year at New Mexico. He caught 7 passes and ran for 1,100 yards, 17 touchdowns, I believe. So, yeah, he's not a big pass catcher. That's going to be Eckler's role. And then Chris Rodriguez might have a bit of a goal line role. Like I think Chris Rodriguez is going to be like the Brian Robinson, maybe with less yards, but like similar touchdowns, 8, something like that, maybe. And then Krosky Merritt maybe between the 20s, and Eckler, again, helping between the 20s, a little bit of goal line work, and definitely the pass catching back. I think it's going to be a 3-headed backfield, which is another reason why like Krosky Merritt, even in the 10th, is a crazy click if you ask me. That's my opinion on it. I'm going to have 0% Krosky Merritt. I had 0 early, which maybe I'm regretting, but I don't know. I'm just not sold that Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt is like that guy. I'm really not sold, and I'm most certainly not drafting in the 7th fucking round. I'll tell you that much. Definitely not. I'm not drafting in the 10th round, so I'm certainly not drafting him, earlier than that. Just doesn't make any sense to me. But I could be wrong. Could be wrong. I just am not playing it that way. Quarterbacks are falling. Interesting. 2 quarterbacks here. 0-1. I don't think it makes sense to take a quarterback here. Quarterbacks are falling. That's interesting. Mind you, if these 2 take a quarterback, then there it goes. Tootin goes. Dak goes. I'm going to take Bateman. Kind of have to, obviously. Double stack my Baltimore. Yeah, I said if he fell into my lap, I would take him, and he kind of did. So let's take Bateman there. This guy shouldn't take a quarterback, probably. Baker and Purdy probably shouldn't. Atwell takes Caleb Williams naked. Has a shot at Colston Loveland, maybe. Oh, wow, gets him if he wants him. That feels good. That definitely feels pretty good for Antwall. And I guess we just take Goff here. Kind of sucks to pass up Drake May for Jared Goff, but I do already have Lamar and double stack Detroit, obviously. So let's just do what we got to do. I really, really don't want to be taking Goff over Drake May, but if I've kind of bought into this Detroit Minnesota game, I pulled up Hawkinson 10 spots. I have to take Jared Goff at a discount, even though Drake May just falls into BBG's lap. That feels pretty good with Henderson. BBG's got a nice looking roster. Good on him. Little light at running back, obviously. Pretty 0 RB. Dominant quarterback room. Very good tight end room. You could say dominant tight end room. Very good wide receiver room. It's a nice looking squad for BBG over there. He's probably loving it. Don't mind my team. Definitely going to be soft at wide receiver, but I'm going to hope to throw some volume at it and make it make sense. I think I can do that and get away with it. I've been mixing. I'll mix him in the 9th. a few times due to not clicking him much when he was late, but I'm also not going crazy to pack a huge bag at his new price. Yeah, I'm just throwing my hands up and saying I missed the boat. If that's what you need, then I'm not going to win. It's kind of where I'm at. I just do not. I mean, I didn't like Brian Robinson at his price when he was a Commander. Therefore, I sure as shit can't like Bill Krosky Merritt's 7th round rookie's price, which is higher, a week later. So it's just not going to happen for me. And if that's what you need to win, then I'm not going to win. And c'est la vie, man. That's where I'm at with it. So, yeah, I made my peace with that. Eckler goes. Definitely looking at, obviously, their wide receiver or running back. Have lots of options. Lots of options. Wow, Brandon Ayuk might be a click right here. That could make a lot of sense. But it's definitely Braylon Allen. It's kind of always Braylon Allen. If he falls 8 picks, I'm going to smash Braylon Allen here. Works with my running back room as well. And then really makes sure that I can stop at 5, which is what I'm going to do. Stop at 5 running backs. And I'm going to take 9 wide receivers to make up for this nonsense that you see here. This mess of a wide receiver room that you see. Man, do I take Brandon Ayuk here? Wow. How baked in to his price was missing this time anyways? Because he was always going to miss this time. I'm going to go Pop Douglas, who I'm drafting the absolute shit out of right now. Pairs up with my Baltimore, obviously. Let's do that. But yeah. Brandon Ayuk's got to be a click at some point. If he's there in the 14th here, I'm going to have to take him. Doesn't make sense any other way. So Green Bean believes or agrees it's Pop. Yeah, it's Pop. It's kind of always Pop Douglas for me right now. Like as much of a, there goes Ayuk. As much of a, Kyle Williams truther that I am, Pop Douglas is more valuable. So I've been picking him as he's risen to flip Kyle Williams. I'm a big reason that he's here. Like this was, I'm 25% Kyle Williams, and I was like not even 10% Pop Douglas not that long ago, and now I'm pushing 20%. So I've been drafting the absolute shit out of Pop Douglas for the last 2 weeks, really pushing his ADP all the way up because I believed he would rise, and here we are. So that worked out for me. But I'm still behind. I still have more Kyle Williams than I do Pop Douglas, which is fine. I'm perfectly happy with that. But I just think he's still a massive value at his current ADP. He can keep rising, and I'll keep clicking him. Like Pop Douglas over Hollywood Brown every single day of the week, twice on Sundays. It's Pop Douglas over Palmer for me. Honestly, it's Pop Douglas over Rashid Shaheed. No problem. For me, no problem. No problem at all. But I'm drafting 0% Rashid Shaheed. Brenton Strange falls a little bit. Couple picks, nothing major. But that works for Lolsimo. It's got to feel good. Torrey Horton pulled up to 160. Okay. BBG brought in Jaden Blue. That feels okay for his running back room. It would have been Braylon Allen over Ray Davis for me if I was BBG. That's who I thought he was going to take. So I'll smash Braylon Allen there at an 8-pick discount. Probably another running back, I would imagine. Hunter Henry. All right. Pair up with Drake May. That makes sense. Missed out on Pop Douglas and Kyle Williams, so you got to catch up. I get it. I don't really care about that anymore. I mean, it's definitely Dobbs if he's there. Pairs up with my Baltimore. That would work. That'd be fun. Yeah, let's do it. Romeo Dobbs. Catch up a little bit at wide receiver. I feel better about this wide receiver room, especially when I know I'm taking 9. That's pretty fun. Can I get some correlation at some point? That would be some bring back action. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. I might have to take my 5th running back here. I might have to take my 5th running back to call that a day. Definitely a few options that I like. Missed the first 4 games. Will Tajay Spears. I'm going to take him here in the 15th with White gone. Dowdle's there as well. But I'm going to take Tajay Spears as my 5th. I'm not going to need him till week 4. This is a quality room. I think it can work out. Let's scoop the value. 19 picks on Tajay. And then I'm done at running back. That feels pretty good. 4 weeks sucks, I get it, but like Gibbs and Taylor are going to be my anchors. So this can definitely work in my favor. I like that. And we're going to go wide receiver. We're just going to piss for our last 3 picks. That's fun. BBG brings up Keaton Mitchell. It's a bit of a pull up. Chris Rodriguez goes there in the 15th. Not bad. I agree with all of that. I've been avoiding New Orleans all draft season like the plague. Me too. It just is awful. They are very, 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 very live to be the worst team in the entire NFL. So I can't get behind that. Personally, I can't get behind that. I think I showed my New Orleans exposure on the last episode yesterday. But yeah, Kamara 5%, Olave 8%. Olave is the only guy just because he's by far the best player in this team at this point in Kamara's career. Chris Olave is the best offensive weapon that they have on this team, and it's not even close to being close. So 8% Olave, I'll be at the field. I'm fine with that. 0% Rashid Shaheed, 9% Juwan Johnson. So there you go. Couple clicks on Devin Neal at the very start of the draft season. So that sucks, but 3 teams, not the end of the world. He's on the roster. Devon Vele, that was for Denver. So that 1 click sucks for Vele, but whatever. That's not a big deal. Haven't clicked Kendre Miller either. I know people are, but I'm not. I'm just not. The backup running back on the worst team in the NFL. I'm good, man. I'm good on that. I am good on that. All right, yeah, we're pissed and yellow to finish this sucker out. Got to be mindful of bye weeks, but there's really no issue. By week 8, I might want to avoid a little bit if it makes sense to avoid it. Troy Franklin was probably going to be my click, but if Quentin Johnston's still there, I might just keep pushing him, actually. I'll push him around the corner. If someone wants to take him, take him. Actually, no, let's just take him. Let's just take him. Yeah, let's just take Quentin Johnston. He's already fallen for no real good reason. He's going to start the year fine. He's through the concussion protocol, most likely. It's just a little bit of a conky, man. Not the end of the world. He'll be all right. He'll be on the field. He's going to be on this team. He's going to be playing. He's going to be running routes in the 16th round. And I need wide receiver help. Give me Quentin Johnston. Give me QJ. Tight ends are going. Tight ends are really going, which is fine. I'm done. Joe Flacco sighting for Ant Wall. We're going to take my guy Yoshivas. Pairs up with our Baltimore, which I don't mind. I think he's a super high floor type of a click right here as far as who's going in this, area. So let's do that. Let's go Yoshivas. One more wide receiver to wrap this up. And I can really take anything. Even by week 8 is obviously not a problem. Like, I don't think there's going to be any correlation unless I don't go Roman Wilson or Calvin Austin, which I really don't. Tutu, not too concerned about that. Efton Chisholm made the roster today. Shout out. Jordan Whittington, I guess, could make some sense, but yeah, I don't think I'm not going to worry too much about correlation realistically. Just no need to be too concerned about it. No need to be too concerned about it. We'll go through all the teams and then we'll get out of here. And then I'm going to be drafting off stream for the rest of the evening, maybe doing some pointer drafts or just Best Ball Mania. Got to make sure that I get Best Ball Manias in. I'm down to 30 bullets left. So I should be at 120. This is number 120. So feels good. We're getting close. 85% filled, 15% less left. Sorry, about 100,000 entries. But so we got some time, but I definitely want to get it done and over with. I have other stuff to do, right? As far as drafting is concerned, my league this Friday, which I'm stoked about, auction draft, return yards, IDP, keeper salary, essentially. It's pretty in-depth. 16 team, pretty in-depth league. I'm pretty stoked about that one. We're doing the draft this Friday night, so we'll not be streaming this Friday. And then a couple other redraft leagues that I have as well. Got to get DFS in, right? Got to get my DFS lineups in before, the first Sunday. So there's still lots to do as far as drafting and season prep is concerned, but I'm sure I'm not the only one in that boat. So don't cry for me. Don't cry for me. We'll go over Losimo's team. We'll go over BBG's, mine, obviously, and Antwall. DJ Giddens. BBG gets sniped on DJ Giddens as well. Settles for Damian Pierce. Sean Tucker. All right, what are we doing for our final wide receiver click? Let's do Parker Washington. Kind of leaning back into him just being my guy. Pairs up with a couple of our running backs. He's just kind of my guy. In a 9 wide receiver build, I want a guy like Parker Washington. I do. So let's go over the squad. First mine, then we'll take a look at everybody else over here. So we ended up with the 2-5-9-2. I like that build a lot, especially at this stage of the draft season. I like that build a lot if you can pull it off. It's tough to get there with running backs, but we made it work. So we got Lamar Jackson and Jared Goff. That's more than enough. Perfectly happy with those two. That works. Jahmyr Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, Braylon Allen, and Tajay Spears. I think that's very strong. Bye weeks don't even overlap. That feels really good. Yeah. Happy with that. 2 anchor running backs. Swift is kind of our middling guy. Braylon Allen's there. I like that a lot. I like this team a lot, actually. Jameson Williams, Jalen Waddle, Cooper Kupp, Rashad Bateman, Pop Douglas, Romeo Dobbs, Quentin Johnston, Andre Yoshivas, and Parker Washington. I wouldn't mind a little more youth in here. I don't have a single rookie. Do I not have a single rookie on this team? I don't. Wow. Rookie list team. Interesting. That's weird. Haven't done that, but very much. But I like this team. Quentin Johnson, Yoshi Voss, Parker Washington. Happy with that. I've got my stacks, double stack Baltimore, double stack Detroit. I have some bringbacks in there. That feels good. I've got some high floor wide receivers, realistically, is what I have. Not a crazy amount of high ceiling guys, though Waddle and Jamison Williams would be high ceiling plays, but a lot of high floor guys that hopefully can just kind of get me there with my strength at running back, strength at quarterback, and strength at tight end. TJ Hawkinson and Mark Andrews as my tight ends. I think those are the onesies. Detroit, tight end and quarterback, I think, are strong. I think the running back room is strong, and I think my wide receivers have a high enough floor to potentially score enough points to get this team through. We'll see. I like this team, though. This is a fun team. It could really work. Let's do Antwall's team first. So 3-4-8-3 did stop at 4 running backs, which I think makes sense considering. Caleb Williams, Sam Darnold, and Joe Flacco. I'm all right with that. Kind of had to add a third. I don't hate it. Probably get half the season at least out of Joe Flacco. Hopefully you want to just clear your buys. So that actually is another little thing that kind of works really nicely for Antwall here is if Joe Flacco can make it to the bye week 9, right? He's covered off his buys for his 2 real quarterbacks over here. So, which is very likely. You get the vet to the bye week and you want to bring in Shedeur, you want to bring in Dylan Gabriel, whatever, you're probably going to do it after the bye. So that kind of feels really good for Antwall there. Should be able to clear the 2 bye weeks, but we'll see. Bijan, Breece Hall, Kenny Walker, and Tony Pollard, very strong. I think it makes a lot of sense to stop at 4. I'm okay with that. I think it definitely works. We got T. Higgins, Tyreek Hill, Jordan Addison, Jaden Higgins, Hollywood Brown, Cedric Tillman, Pat Bryant, and Tez Johnson. Like the Tez Johnson click down there, he's all of a sudden got life. I have quite a bit of Tez Johnson the big board season because I liked him a lot, and it seems like it kind of worked out. I backdoored into that one. But this is a strong room. I like it. I like it on the whole. I'm not a big fan of Hollywood Brown personally at all. But everything else I'm a fan of in this wide receiver room. So I think it can work. Addison's out the first 3 games. We know that. Hollywood's kind of injury prone. We kind of know that. And then enough to kind of cover those guys off with an 8-player wide receiver room. Kelsey, Loveland, and Jonnu Smith. I don't know. I mean, he's obviously the bring back to Cedric Tillman here, but I don't think Jonnu was entirely necessary. Mind you, what else are you going to do? Add another running back? Not really necessary. Add another wide receiver? Sure. I don't hate it. I don't hate doing the Jonnu there. 3-4-8-3. I like this team. It's fun. It's definitely fun. A little bit different. Very different, actually. Let's take a look at BBG's squad. I liked his build quite a bit, so let's see how he finished out. Josh Allen, Drake May, more than enough. That feels really good. Huge discount on Drake May, and I had to literally just hand him to BBG, which I don't love considering I'm a massive, Drake May bull. But that's all right. Trevion Henderson, Brian Robinson at ADP. I don't think that's a great click realistically, but I can understand it in the position he's in. Ray Davis, Jaden Blue, Keaton Mitchell, Damian Pierce, Sean Tucker. Definitely this is quite obviously going to be the crutch of this team. Not even the crutch. It's it's the weakness, obviously. This is a huge weakness. I like Trevion, obviously, no question there, but everything else is pretty sus if we're being honest. But I mean, he knew what he was doing, and everything else is really strong. Wide receiver rooms: Brian Thomas Jr., Devonta Smith, Deebo Samuel, Jacoby Myers, Michael Pittman, Luther Burden, Jalen Coker. I like it. you have to stop at 7, and you got to throw some volume at this running back room. So it makes sense. Bowers and Henry definitely makes sense. Stop at 2. You can't draft a third. I like that. Structurally, it's great. 2-7-7-2. Structurally, it makes a ton of sense. Everywhere is strong except for running backs. And this isn't like the crazy strongest wide receiver room in the world. Why? Because elite tight end, elite quarterback. So it's always going to be a little bit weak in 1 or 2 places. It's very weak at running back and probably like a 7 out of 10 at the wide receiver room. So strong team though. I don't mind it. Let's take a look at Lolsimo. Jordan Love, Geno Smith, and Matthew Stafford. Probably not your first 3 choices, but let's see what else pans out here. Geno with Genty, Kamara, Warren, Stevenson, Kendre Miller, and Rico Dowdle. I don't mind this room at all. I'm not drafting Kendre. Doesn't mean I'm right. Double stack the New Orleans. I have a hard time with that personally, but doesn't mean I'm right. Everything else I do like in this room. I like Dowdle. I like Stevenson. I like Warren. I like Genty. That all works out. I like Kamara. I just don't like bringing in his backup. I don't think that makes a ton of sense. Like, it's cheap. I get it, but I just don't think it makes sense. Puka, Evans, Tet, Zay, Jaden Reed, and Rashid Shaheed. 3663. Hey, I think this is probably too weak. Hard to say. There's a lot of injury prone stuff going on here. Even Puka is a little bit injury prone. Mike Evans at this stage of his career, and Rashid Shaheed definitely. Jaden Reed is hurt right now, so that's kind of a tough one. Dallas Goedert, Brenton Strange, and Auden. I like this tight end room for sure. That's fun. I probably wouldn't have taken Kendre Miller. I think you're okay with 5 with just Dowdle. I would take Kendre Miller out and add a wide receiver is what I would have done, but doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean I'm right. I don't think Lolsimo loves this team, if we're being honest, but maybe he does. Maybe he does. Emo Cowboy, what's up, man? Appreciate you popping in right at the end. We're about to wrap it up for the night, but we'll be back tomorrow night as well. Trying to get in, like I said, as many streams as I can before draft season is over. It's coming up quick, about a week. We'll see, something like that. So we'll be back tomorrow night, same time, same place, ripping some drafts. I don't know what we'll be doing, either a pointer or Best Ball Mania, something like that. And then, like I said, we'll be with Sean Mitchell on Extend the Drive Thursday night. So not on this channel, but I'll be over there with Sean streaming. And then Friday night, we're off. I'll try to get something in over the weekend for sure. And then we'll kind of take it from there. But tomorrow night, we'll be back. We'll be drafting again, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Good show. Drafted a pretty good team. Appreciate you guys popping in. Hit that like button on your way out. Like I always say on Off the Schneid, if you're afraid to be wrong, you'll never be right. Hopefully tonight we were right. We binked $2 million in Best Ball Mania. Have yourselves a great night.